Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Ryder Siggety. I'm a Yamaha off-road factory support and pro racer, and I'm here with my dad, Mike Siggety.
Hi, I'm Ryder's dad, Mike.
And this is the Snowshoe GNCC 2023, and it's an interesting race. We start on the road, and I biked the track multiple times, but I forgot to bike the start. So here you see I get the whole shot. I'm feeling great, and I don't really know that this hill turns right when we get to the bottom. So I go straight, and then I get passed by my friend Colton McQuarrie, and I move into second place as of right now.
So yeah, I don't know if that was clear, but when Ryder was supposed to go left, he started to look right and then look left, hesitated, and got past there. Lesson learned.
So out of all the races on the GNCC circuit, this is definitely a special one. It starts in a ski resort, and there's a whole town in the ski resort we'll talk about later. But because of the ski resort location, you ride on mostly ski trails, and it's really fast and really dangerous. So make sure you guys stick around because we have some injuries, some nasty injuries to show you guys, and it's going to be interesting. So prior to the race, we did tons of testing on the bike. We did, well, wait, let me just show you guys this. There, you saw me get passed on a hill. And before the race, we did testing weeks before and the day before to make sure that the bike was going to run great. And we thought it was running great. It was running great until the morning of the race, where it was not running great at all. I had, it kept bogging down due to us setting it up incorrectly. Nothing wrong with the bike, really. And I was really scared that it was going to be affecting my race, the whole race, because it's definitely a big factor how fast your bike can go here at the Snowshoe GNCC.
So what was your top speed at this race last year? What was your top speed when testing Saturday before the race? And what was your top speed during the race on Sunday?
Last year, I think the fastest I went was 53. Yeah, last year was 53. Testing the day before the race, I got up to 61 or 62, and then during the race, the fastest my bike I could get it to go was 47 miles an hour.
And what were the conditions like the morning of the race? I mean, you can kind of see there's some fog with the GoPro, but like the GoPro seems to cut through the fog. Look at the smoke coming from your bike. That's crazy. The GoPro does a really good job of cutting through the fog, through the dust. But what did it look like? Oh, there you are getting passed again on another hill.
Yeah, so it was really foggy. I'll put in a video somewhere around here. You'll see it. I could barely see the cars when I was riding to the start. I had to take a GoPro video. It was really weird. I was sitting in the front, at the starting line, and even the front row, you couldn't see the first turn. You couldn't see it until you were halfway there. It was definitely a new experience, and I've never done anything like that before.
How scary is that, knowing you're going to go to the fastest race in the whole GNCC series, and actually the fastest race you've ever done that's predominantly Jeep roads like this, knowing you can't even see the first turn, which was only 25 yards away? That had to be really nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I was definitely pretty scared at first. It wasn't terrible during the race, but there was definitely a couple laps during the middle of the race. I don't know if a cloud came over or something, but it got a lot worse. This bridge right here you see me going over, it doesn't look bad, but it was wet and slick, and there was nothing on it, and it was so slippery. I tried to get on the gas one time, and my back end just started sliding out. It got really scared. In front of me is he's in my class. I forget who it is, but I'm currently in third place, and I think battling was fourth too. Fourth might be right behind me. So I at this point in the race, I thought that first place, Colton McQuarrie, remember he passed me at the start. I thought that I wasn't going to really have a chance for first. I was just fighting for fourth, I thought, or fighting for second through fourth. And it didn't work out like that, so I definitely made some passes as the race went on. So make sure you guys keep watching.
Yeah, and at the end of the video, we have some footage taken with a phone camera, a video from the phone, where you can see all the kids stuck on hills and parents running around frantically trying to push kids up the hills. Parents screaming at each other, and I don't really know why, but I don't know who was wrong, so when we show that, we're not saying this guy was right or wrong. Something may have happened, but it's a little insane, so stick to the end and you'll see some different point of view stuff. And speak of point of view, tell everyone why we're using the backwards camera and how it worked out.
So honestly, I don't think either of us thought that it was going to work out half as well as it did. I thought it was going to get really muddy, but it didn't, because it was behind me. It was kind of hard for it to get money, and the reason we were using it is just a different angle. I mean, nobody really has stuff like this. I thought it was really cool. We've been using it for the last couple races. What do you think?
I like it a lot, and we've tried a couple races where it didn't come out well at all. And to be honest with you, it's a little, not nerve-wracking, but risky to put cameras all over you, because one fall and they're gone, and you won't even know if they're gone. And these aren't the cheapest cameras, these GoPros, and they have extended batteries in them. They have high-capacity memory cards. So it is a little risky to be running that, but it seems to be working out for you, especially with the video, because when you ran it in the front like this, it would only last a short period of time until you eventually just wiped it.
Yeah, so there you guys saw, this is the fastest part of the track, and I made my way into second, but then I got passed again and I'm back in third on this long straightaway, and it was kind of our fault a little bit. We didn't put on a high-speed pipe, which maybe would have helped, but it also would have took away bottom end, so it's all preference, I guess, but I did get passed on the straightaway there.
So this is pretty much not only considered the fastest course in the GNCC, but also the most dangerous, because there are so many rocks in the trails. You can't see them so much in the video, but everything always looks good in the video. And it's not the fault of the GNCC, and especially not the fault of the course workers, because they work really hard in this horrible weather. It's all they're given by the Snowshoe Mountain. They do not want people riding on their mountain bike trails, which I understand will get trashed. So 85% of the race is basically as fast as you can go. Now, when you watch the video, it does look like, oh, look, there's some nice trail, but there really isn't much. It's 85% as fast as the bikes will go. But at the same time, one time you did get stuck around me. Oh yeah, please like and subscribe to these videos. So when you got stuck, when I was there and I pushed your bike, I thought you gave it to me like third gear when you got stuck. When I got done, I put it in first. Since it's 5,000 foot elevation, the bikes have so little power that if you just gear it for top end, you'll have no bottom. If you just gear it for bottom, you won't have no top end. So it's really, really a tough little game to figure out. And then when you start using volatile race fuel, it is a bit of an issue. But I know one of your competitors, he was on a Yamaha also, and he had the same problems you did. As a matter of fact, he said that your bike seemed faster than his. So it is a bit of and the guy who is second in your class, who's on a KTM, his bike was the slowest he ever rode it. He could barely ride the bike. So it's a bit of a crapshoot on how your bike's going to run. And normally when you race, you're not on the front row because you have an 85cc and they can be up to 112 cc's on the front row. And even though that is somewhat of a disadvantage, sometimes it's not a huge disadvantage, but here it's a monster disadvantage to not have all those cc's. It's almost comparing an 85 to a 50 when you compare an 85 to a 112. And here it makes all the difference in the world. And as if the rocks aren't enough of an obstacle in these trails, and some are loose, some are planted, but they're actually pointy and stick out, there's actually sewer pipes and manhole covers in certain part of the trails. It's really insane. I hate to say it because I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus. Again, it's all they have to work with, but it's basically Russian roulette. Every race, somebody's going to get really hurt. And we don't want to mention anyone's name here, but one of our friends got really hurt. And he ended up in a hospital. They transferred him to another hospital. He's going to be there for the week. He needs reconstructive surgery. And it's just a terrifying, terrifying race. And even though the adults have to do also a lot of fast road, it's not 80% fast road. It's, they have a lot of trails too. They do half-hour laps. The kids do 10-minute laps. Actually, they did more than half-hour laps. They were like 45-minute to 1-hour laps. So one more thing we're going to show you at the end of this video. I have never seen a goggle bag like this. And I know that sounds crazy, and we don't do a lot of clickbait, but if this isn't a $1,000 goggle bag setup, I don't know what is. It's crazy. So check it out at the end of the video.
Watch this roost from the braking coming up right there. You guys see all the dirt getting flown up in the air? That was all for me braking, and it was just throwing roost up in the air.
So we're going to do a little sponsor plug here. Ryder and I have been using EBC brakes, him for as long as he's been racing, and me for over 20 years, and they've been awesome for us. So if you haven't tried a set, you may want to give it a shot.
So as many of you guys might know, 6 weeks ago I fractured my hip, and this was my first GNCC back. I actually missed 2 GNCCs, and so it was a little nerve-wracking not knowing how I was going to do, because I really haven't raced with any of my benchmarks recently. But I did pretty good. I won my class, and I got, I think, 10th overall. I'm not positive on that. I definitely could have done better, but this has never been my race, and I'm looking forward to the next ones to get even better than this one.
Yes, congratulations, kid. I'm proud of you. That was a really good race. And as far as the points go, you definitely have the most wins in the class, though there has been, I think, 3 or 4 different winners. But you have a really good points lead with the throwaways, and you're getting the job done again. That was pretty cool how you went through that water like that. And look at the smoke coming from the brakes again. Crazy. So one time we saw a video of Ryder, and there was smoke pouring from his bike, but there was no water. There was plenty of mud, but I was like, where's that coming from? And sure enough, it was just from mud splashing on his hot brakes and coming like from the rear wheel. You could see it like circulating around the wheel. And again, please, if you have a second, just like and subscribe this video, make a comment. That would be awesome, and it would help with our whole YouTube project. And by the way, one of our subscribers suggested they'd like to see like a day in a life in Ryder, like what he does, and we haven't done that here. But one thing you might find interesting about Ryder is that there's a little gnarly section here, is that Ryder actually does between 10 and 12 hours of school a day. He gets in the bus at 7 a.m. He gets back around 3. He does homework until 5. Either works out or rides from 5 to 7, and then finishes homework from 7 to 9 every day. And he's doing really well in school, just like he's doing in racing. So kids, it's good to be really dedicated to your motorcycle racing, but it's also really important to take your school seriously.
So this race being at like a town, there's a ton of parties that happen the night before the race. And I know a lot of my friends that were kept up all night with people partying and screaming and waking up at like 3 in the morning from just like a bunch of drunk people, because the quad racers race on Saturday, and after they're done racing, they don't have to worry about getting up for the next race the next day.
So if you see Ryder or I at some of the races, as long as we're not in the middle of something, we bring a bunch of our older shirts and hats that don't fit Ryder anymore as far as the shirts go, and hats that aren't our sponsors anymore, and we'd be happy to give some kids free stuff. We've been giving a lot away already, so you just got to look us up, come to our van if it's a single day race, or our motorhome and trailer with your kid or kids, and we'll give you something. Also, so many people come up to Ryder, and me, but mostly Ryder, and say they like his videos, and I know that really makes them happy. So if you see him at the races, just tell him you watch his videos. And actually, if you can ask to be in the video, we'll just take a quick little video of you and put you in the corner of one of the videos, and you can be in Ryder's video.
So right here, I just cleaned the camera. We are on the fastest part of the whole track, and it's definitely the scariest too. You'll see in a little while, I'm gonna get head shake. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Most of you probably do. It's where the handlebars turn a little bit. I'll slow it down, and you'll see on the side of the track, there's someone right where I get head shake, laying on the ground hurt. Like, it's really dangerous. Right here, you see my bars get all twisted. I hit a rock, and then you see in the right corner, that's someone lying there, not on the bike. I'm not sure who it is, to be honest, but just to show you, like, it's so easy to get hurt. That could have been me lying on the side of the track right there. Right there, you saw a rut before the finish. Those ruts actually got really bad. I heard a major pass for the WXC, which is the pro women's class, was made in one of those ruts right over there.
So if you think racing is expensive, here's a couple interesting tidbits of expense. The rooms at the Snowshoe doubled in cost from last year. Last year, for 3 nights, we paid $1,200. This year, it was $2,300, I believe.
Wait, Dad, let's listen to what Colton has to say first.
He came in first. He was really fast. He passed me. I couldn't see. I had my goggles off. And yeah, it was the funnest race ever.
Okay, back to expenses. That was 3 nights. And then you need to have e-bikes to pedal the course. E-bikes are not really equipped to handle all this mud. So they're getting trashed. They're trashed so bad they're always needing repair. And they're more than the motorcycles. And if you don't do it, you're at a huge disadvantage. So there's always some crazy expenses involved in these sports, well above the beyond cost of the dirt bike or the tires or even the fuel to get there.
Also, if you guys thought that video of Colton was a little out of pocket, that was right as I caught up to Colton for the first time. So I thought he was like gone, like really far ahead of me. And at that point in the race, I saw him and I knew I had a chance. So I just put Colton in there because he's my friend, and that's where I saw him for the first time. That was a small racer profile of one of my biggest competitors.
So since the course was so tough on the e-bikes, I let Ryder go around by himself instead of me going with him, and decided to do one lap with him on Saturday night after all the quads had run it. And my e-bike broke halfway through the course. And I really needed to see the course at least once, so I knew where I was going to go. And it was getting late, and I didn't know what to do when my e-bike broke. And my good friend Frank Messina saw me with the broken down e-bike, which ironically was a bike I bought off of him, which was totally fine when I bought it off of him. And he said, well, hey, I'm done anyway, why don't you just take my bike? And he pedaled my old bike back and let me finish the course on his bike. So big shout out to my good buddy Frank. Oh, there's some more brake roost. Now it's regular roost.
So the video is going to be coming to an end pretty soon, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys stay because there is a lot of bonus footage, like we talked about earlier. There's a lot of cool videos, and comment on any of the videos you see after this, or just comment any of your thoughts and like and subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.